Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Young Justice Outsiders episode 10. So last time we had Lobo attacking our crew, and Forager managed to fend him off using some clever tactics, because they had no chance against Lobo. We also had Granny Goodness introduced, and a few other things happened. A lot of setup was done last episode. And I feel like it makes it come across like this season is just truly beginning. A lot of this has been set up. A lot of it has been just getting this season really kicked off and explaining things. Now, I believe I had noted at least, when I first started this season, when I first started Outsiders 2 years ago, I believe I noted back then that with the time skip that happened and everything, they brought in a lot of new characters and a lot of changes that were very sudden and very hard to keep track of. And this is a series that had done this before with season 2. And it's hard to remember which characters have and have not been in the series prior because of that. So if I ever make a mistake, or if I ever am surprised by a character appearing or whatnot, and or whatever else like that, because I don't remember them being in the series before, or because all of the additions and stuff have made me confused as to who's new and who's not, I apologize. It was brought to my attention that the member of the Lights last time was not Gorilla Grodd, it was Ultra Humanite. That was on me. That was my mistake. And again, I forgot Ultra Humanite was actually in this series before. I found that out looking it up. I saw a talking monkey, and I instantly thought Grodd. That was just where my mind went. So I apologize for that, for making that mistake. I mean, they're similar, I guess. Not quite the same, but they're similar. But yeah, I do apologize for making that mistake. Um, but yeah, it's just, this series does bring in so many characters, and it's like, to a degree, it's like it's cool seeing all these different characters, but when a lot of them don't really do much and are just there, or maybe have like one moment of doing something and then they're gone for the rest of the series, or not, at least not focused on. It's just like there's just too many characters. There's just too many. Um so it's hard to keep track for me. And maybe that's just me, but it is. It, uh, anywho, anywho, not sure what's going to happen in today's episode. Maybe we'll get more stuff with Granny Goodness and her entire disguise. Not really too much of a disguise, but yeah. Maybe we'll get more with training or whatnot. The Light, thanks to Lobo, has done some recon now on our heroes, so there's that. Excuse me. And we still have to figure out rescuing Tara Markov. So there's still that as well. There's plenty of stuff we still have to do, in other words. And who knows where this is going to end up going. Um, but yeah, we'll see, I guess. Um, Not really much of anything else to say though going into this, so we're just gonna get this started. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirecting or the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, yeah, I kind of like dropped the ball, I guess, on that. But yeah, in regards to what I said at the end of the reaction, yeah, Owl House tomorrow, Saturday. Yeah. Along with Kipo. Kipo is finishing up, Owl House is starting. Doing something different both on the same day. So yeah. Though if you're on Discord, I guess you'd already know that. Because I did post upcoming schedule stuff. So I mean I guess it's not too big of a spoiler. Anyway, so some interesting stuff this episode. We had a little bit more training, which was pretty much just the same as we've had. Our characters are training. Brion's getting impatient. Yada yada. Though they are getting much better, and there is a romance forming between Brion and Violet. And speaking of Violet, she is being enrolled in high school under the name Violet Harper. So that's happening now. Meanwhile, we get some look into Victor Stone. And he is not yet cyborg, but is still in school, still playing football and all that jazz. And we kind of know how this song and dance goes. We've seen it in various forms of media throughout the years. It's kind of funny, though, that some of his fellow players are voiced by Carrie Payton, who voiced Cyborg in the old, like, 2000s cartoon, and I guess technically Teen Titans Go as well. But it's funny that he's like surrounded by Carrie Payton voices. Silas, one of his classmates, and it's really funny. But he is voiced by Zeno Robinson, who is Hawks, for example. In My Hero Academia, he's Garfield in ReZero Season 2, among many other roles. Zeno's becoming a pretty notable name, and I like that, along with Anaïs Quinones, I believe. I might have got that wrong, and if so, I apologize. But they're both kind of becoming really big names lately with the roles that they're getting within anime and cartoons. And I like that. I really like that. Both of them are fantastic, and I would love to hear more of them in future stuff. But yeah, so we get Victor, and it's mostly the same old stuff again we've seen forever. Silas is too busy to see his son play football. Victor's a star player. He's getting scouted and stuff. Same old, same old. We know there's going to be an accident that causes him to become cyborg. We know where this is going. um, but it's cool to see it nonetheless. And it looks like it's being done fairly well so far. Then we had what was essentially the A plot of this episode. Batman, Katana, and Metamorpho's mission to Santa Prisca. They have gone to Santa Prisca to follow up on the idea that Tara Markov is there, Brion's sister. And they find out that she was there. She was, and that Savage's daughter was actually close with her. But that she was, I guess, turned over to Granny Goodness. So they do have a lead as to where she might be now, but we'll have to see how it goes. We will have to see. But the mission itself was pretty interesting. And yeah, I don't know much about Metamorpho. Like again, I've heard his name before, but that's about it. It seems like he's very rubbery. Like even when he was like bouncing the bullets off of him, it very much reminded me of Luffy from One Piece. Um, but he can also seem to transform into anything, hence his name, Metamorpho. He could turn into mud, into mist, into a trash can, into pretty much literally anything, it seems. So that's really interesting. And I've seen these kind of powers before in plenty of other stuff. But it seems like he just has full, like, transformational powers, like, completely. Like, he can stretch even, like, any kind of, like, physical transformative abilities, basically. I assume that means he could probably disguise himself as someone else too. Though we didn't see that in this episode. We saw like him turn into like kind of this monstrous form, but that might have been his more original form, while the form we saw otherwise was more of a disguise. I don't know. Again, I don't know much about the character, but I'm just kind of like juggling some ideas here. Um, he's definitely interesting. Um, and it's a good thing he's on the hero side here. Um, but we get to see some cool fights during this stuff, like with Bane versus Batman, always good. We get to see Lady Shiva take on Katana and Metamorpho take on Deathstroke. So yeah, a lot of fun for sure. But unfortunately, because Tara's not there anymore, the mission isn't really helpful at the moment. So they have to head out and follow the next lead, basically, which is Granny Goodness at this point. So, yeah, definitely interested to see where this all goes. I hope they get to Tara soon, because honestly, it's like that's kind of been a plot point since the very beginning of the series. In fact, I think that is from the very beginning of the series. And it's just like, I know we're only 10 episodes in, not what, 24, 26, something like that. But still, it's like, can we just get to it already? I want to see Tara already. I want to see what she's like in this one. Because there's only really two versions of Tara I've ever seen, and in any kind of media, at least that I can remember, and that is the 2000s Teen Titans series, where she had her relationship with Beast Boy and everything. And then there's the DC animated movie universe, Teen Titans and the Judas Contract movie, which was just way too jam packed with a bunch of shit, and she didn't really get a time to shine in that film. Not as much as I would have hoped, at least. Plus, there was some weird shit happening in that film as well. Yeah. Anywho. Uh, Tell me what you thought of this episode down in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.